Statesville, you know the place to go. Drum Landscape Supply, where your gardens grow. From Mooresville to Cornelia, Secret to Taylorsville, they bring the dream to life, they always will. In every town, they got your back. From Marksville to Jopless, more than that. Experience hands, make your dream complete. Drum Landscape Supply, your garden suite.
Good morning, Okayan. 8:48. Happy Friday to you. Want to check in and make sure we're ready for our weekend because, you know, I'm getting outside this weekend. I'm definitely cutting that grass. I'm looking at the lawn, looking at what plantings I'm going to do. Need to assess how much seed I need. All the works that's going down this weekend. Need to talk to the expert, Jason Drum, Drum Landscape Supply. DrumLandscapeSupply.com, your local one-stop landscape shop. Jason and his team located in Statesville, but delivering to all of Lake Norman. So be sure to ask them about delivery when you go by and see them. Jason, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. I'll be honest with you. I was not expecting the downpours that it felt like we got late last night. And looking out, even this morning when I was driving, the fog, right, the kind of picturesque look. Positive move for the plants and the trees? You think they liked the rain? Was it too much? How you feeling about it?
I got about a half inch of rain here at my house, and that was a good interval in between all that rain we had. We had some dry days there, and so I think they liked it as long as you didn't get a washout. That was good, and I'll tell you, I'm enjoying this cooler weather. I know some folks would rather have a little bit more heat now, but this is an ideal start to September.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm looking right here as your backyard is behind you here. I mean, it is glowing.
It's picturesque,
green
for
right
sure,
there.
yeah.
Do you spray it with paint before you come on the show? Is that usually what you do?
No, this rainfall has been great for it. Everything's loving these temperatures, putting a little late season growth on here before it stops in October. So, most lawns and landscapes are pretty happy right now.
And you have over 50,000 offerings at Drum Landscape Supply. And I look at your lawn here. Is all of this from Drum Landscape, too? Do you source from yourself as well?
Yeah, I do. It's actually a demonstration garden, and I think it's 10,000 items, not 50. I think that
I
number
keep adding
grew
to
a
it
little
each
bit
week.
there.
I keep adding to
If
it
you
each
count
week.
every single pebble that you have.
That's exactly right. It's definitely 50,000.
Definitely.
Oh, it's
500,000,
millions
yeah.
then. yeah, we're going into the millions. But yeah, I mean, I use my landscape here as not only a demonstration garden, but just as something to study, what we have and what it's going to do. I get a real feel of, what that plant is actually going to grow to compared to what the tag says, on the store. Not only our tags, but the tags that come with them from the plant breeders. General rule of thumb is to add 25% to whatever they say right there. So, but yeah, I get to see that firsthand.
It's that time of year where, people are going to be doing their plantings, right? Because it's coming up on fall. You've said it's the best time of year. But it takes like some planning, to your point, right? Like, so knowing spacing of plants and looking at all the things that come with it. Do you help people kind of map all that out? Like if they come and they buy the plant, well, maybe you need some mulch for the bed, or maybe you need, some seed for the lawn.
Yeah.
Do you help people kind of look at it holistically?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we want to do is to make sure, they're not forgetting anything, or, we'll ask questions. If it's something that's a little bit out of season for us, I'll say, hey, what's your, plan here, or why did you ask for that specifically? Just to make sure that they're, on the right track. Because, this seeding time coming up, we're at the start of the seeding, according to NC State University, September 1st. They say till November 1st. I take that on into the middle of November for us. But yeah, we want to make sure you're doing the right steps, like not putting a pre-emergent out when you seed. We've had that happen in the past for some folks. Just making sure you do the right things there. And because we want you to be successful in your landscape. That's what we're here for.
Even the simple lesson of waiting a week between the seed and the fertilizer. I was definitely one of the guys that let me just knock it out the same day. That was usually my go-to. So even that little tip or trick along the way.
So, Jason, I do have a question for you. For with the seeding,
Sure.
you say you can go into November. You just need to wait. Like, if I did it now, is it too soon?
Well, if you're going to be on the early end of things here in the early part of September, you got to make sure that you can water that seed, because what you don't want to happen is to have this beautiful, nice weather here with this rain in the first part of September. Your grass seed will germinate in about 7 to 10 days with our Drums Premium Turf Blend. But then you don't want it to turn hot and dry, in the weeks following that, which is a possibility. I mean, it looks like we're in a good weather pattern, but you just never know with Mother Nature. So if you do put it on early and it germinates, you have to make sure that it gets watered if it happens to get hot and dry again, because then your seed, any grass seed, may not make it through that. So I like to say, if you're going to do it early, just make sure you've got the sprinkler set up or you have an irrigation system. If not, then I would prefer you to wait till about the 1st of October. Sometime in October is ideal. And if you just can't get around to it, if you've got kids playing football or kids in swim like I do, and you just sometimes you can't get around to things, up until the middle of November is no problem. I've had really good success then.
So there's a intentionality behind watering the seed. How about new plantings? What's the watering schedule like? If you're going to decide to plant a bunch of trees and shrubs this fall, what's that water schedule look like?
Yeah, so for the first week, I recommend to water it, every other day or every day to make sure it's soaked in just for that first week to 10 days. And then generally with the temperatures we've had, about twice a week, a good soaking will take care of that for you. And then as we move into November and December, maybe once a week, and December and beyond, we usually get enough rainfall to where you don't have to water it. But you do want to make sure that if it hasn't rained in 2 weeks and over the winter, that you do water. So just getting those roots established for the spring is what we're looking for. So a little bit of watering goes a long way. And that does go for things that you may have planted earlier this spring too. You don't want to forget about them. About once a week would be good for that.
I have a buddy who doesn't have an irrigation system. He's got, he pulls out the hose, he plugs in the sprinkler and the whole nine. He was asking me, can he just leave it in the middle of his yard and it'll just kind of trickle to everything? I told him, you don't want me answering that, though I did give him an answer at first. I don't know if it was right or not. What's the method when you don't have an irrigation? You want even covering still, right, on everything. So you've got to kind of move the sprinkler around to make sure everything gets a little bit of love. Is that the right mindset?
Yeah, I mean, you can just watch the pattern on your sprinkler. You may set up multiples. Usually you have enough water pressure to run 2 sprinklers at a time if you're on city water, if you're getting, average pressure. But yeah, moving it around, just making sure that it does get some water. Now, ideally when you set up an irrigation system, you want to get double coverage to where there's, 2 different sprinkler heads are hitting the same spot. But if you're doing manual sprinkling, just make sure that it's getting a little bit of water, and you'll know pretty quickly if those areas aren't getting water by either they're not germinating the same speed as the others, or it just looks a little bit more yellow. So just getting that sprinkler out there. Fortunately, I think this weather's going to stick around with us, so this might be a forgiving fall for seeding. So but a little bit of water goes a long way. Just don't forget about it. It's the main thing.
The other thing that happens this time of year, and I know not just because my son's sneezing fits that he gets into, but obviously laying down pine straw, pine needles, right, in the mulch beds, all of that kind of stuff. Any recommendation there? Or no, does Drum Landscapes play, hey, if you want pine needles, we've got that. If you want mulch, we've got that. Do you have a take on any of that?
Yeah, so it's a lot of personal preference. I like to use pine straw around my house. I keep mulch in the beds that are away from the home, just for that extra, layer of security. If you do spray for insects around your home, then mulch should be just fine. But we would like you to wait just a little bit longer, if you can, until the leaves fall off the trees. Now, there's never a bad time to mulch, but if you pull mulch out and then you have trees that are going to drop leaves, and you're going to be picking a little bit of that mulch up. And so then pine straw, we've got good color on it right now. But also, if you wait until the leaves fall, that is the best time of the year to put pine straw out, because that just fell off the pine trees as well. So you're going to get that rich golden coppery color from the pine straw, and that'll last all winter. So, if you need to do some areas, now's a fine time, but wait just a little bit longer until those leaves fall off the trees, and it'll be a lot easier maintenance for you.
Which is that usually like October-ish, somewhere in that October range when the leaves kind of fall off, or is it even into November at that point?
Yeah, it just depends on the trees you've got. I mean, I've got some poplar trees here in my yard. You can't see them from this angle, but they're starting to drop right now. Same with sycamore and a few others, and they'll slowly drop for about 6 weeks or so. But Generally by about the first week of November, most leaves have fallen, but it just depends on the weather. I mean, if it turns real dry, we'll see them fall off before that. If it stays warm and we keep getting rain, they might stick around a little later. If I recall, last year was actually one of the latest years for leaves, just because it stayed warm and we kept getting a little bit of rain. So the leaf stayed on the tree is a little bit longer than normal. So, but yeah, that's the best thing to do, because if you do it now and then you take up all your leaves, then you might be coming to see us again. So, but we're not looking for that. We want you to get the most value out of your purchase with Drum, and just these tips to help you out along the way.
Whether you've got a green thumb or whatever color your thumb is, you can go by Drum Landscape Supply, drumlandscapesupply.com, your local one-stop landscape shop. Jason, we so appreciate you. I'm going to have to come by and see you. I got one tree that's confused. It drops leaves twice a year. Then I got another one in the front that's dead that won't drop its leaves. It's a whole thing going on in my lawn right now, Jason. But definitely going to come by and see you.
Good.
Drum's Premium Turf Blend Seed. That's what you want. You want to stay away from that inert matter. You want pure seed. Jason sources it directly from the source, giving you the best opportunity to have the best lawn in the neighborhood. Jason, we so appreciate you. Look forward to chatting next week with you, sir.
All right. Sounds great. Hope everybody has a great weekend.
Have a great weekend. Drum Landscape Supply, drumlandscapesupply.com. Be sure to check out Jason and his team. Remember, they deliver to all of Lake Norman, and so be sure to ask about delivery when you go by and see Jason, drumlandscapesupply.com. All right, Lake Norman fam, we've got up next, the Home Ad Show is coming up. Patrick Reynolds, host of it, 9 to 11, Monday through Friday. Today's no different. We're going to win a birthday anniversary prize packs going to be given out at about 10:45. 9 to 11, that's the Home Ad Show. 11 o'clock, don't forget The Scoop, new show here on WSIC, hosted by Jamie Gatton of the Mooresville Scoop. Going to be giving that inside hard news. You're going to want that. Todd Starnes, noon to 3. 3 o'clock, Beyond the Blueprint with Brad Howard. 4 o'clock, Health Talk.
Truck bed empty, but fill it up now. Rock, smokes, and soul.